This is Radio Nepal. I'm Manjil Ghimire with the news. The headlines first. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda points out the need for transformation in educational policy, curriculum and structure to reform country's education sector. Former foreign ministers, secretaries and ambassadors advise government to take Nepal-India relations ahead based on understanding and mutual interest. And Hamas deputy leader Saleh al-Arawi killed in Beirut blast. Now, the news in detail. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda has pointed out the need of transformation in educational policy, curriculum and structure for the reform of country's education sector. Addressing the Kantipur Education Summit in Kathmandu yesterday, Prime Minister Prachanda mentioned that the government has been carrying out activities for reforms of educational sector. He shared that the educational summits will have quality contribution for policy making with our own specialities and uniqueness in light of experiences across the world in the context when Nepal's higher education is facing globalization problems. Prime Minister Prachanda stressed the need for discouraging the negative mindset developed in the new generation in recent period that there is no quality in country's education. Likewise, Prime Minister Prachanda has instructed the line ministry and stakeholders to prioritize the promotion of industries run by women entrepreneurs. During a discussion with the Minister for Women, Children and Senior Citizens, Secretary and other officials on thematic issues concerning the ministry, Prime Minister Prachanda urged the officials to prioritize the issues relating to women. Prime Minister mentioned that the women's rights should be strengthened by ensuring better income and making women independent. Minister for Foreign Affairs N.P. South yesterday held a meeting with former Foreign Minister, former Foreign Secretaries and former ambassadors to India. According to Minister South, in the meeting held on the eve of Minister for External Affairs of India, S. Jayashankar's visit to Nepal, the participants furnished suggestions on various agenda about Nepal-India relations. They stressed on the significance of Nepal's relations with India and advised to take it ahead as an understanding based on cordiality and mutual interest. The government was advised to explore ways for promoting Nepal's exports to India in view of a widening trade deficit between the two countries, improving cross-border infrastructure. Former Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Bhek Bahadur Thapa, former Foreign Secretaries Madhuraman Acharya, Arjun Thapa, Durga Bhattarai, Bharat Paudel and former Ambassador Durgesman Singh, among others, were those summoned by Minister South for consultations. The Indian External Affairs Minister will be arriving Nepal on a Tuesday official visit beginning Thursday. Ruling partners, the Nepali Congress and CPN Maoist Centre yesterday held a meeting to discuss about upcoming National Assembly elections scheduled to take place on 25th of January. According to Nepali Congress Chief Whip Ramesh Lekhak, in the meeting held at the Prime Minister's official residence in Balwatar, Prime Minister and Maoist Centre Chair Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda, Nepali Congress President and former Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba, among others, discussed the National Assembly elections. Leader Lekhak said the parties would be sitting for a meeting with other political parties over the upper house elections. The CPN Maoist Centre says the special transformation campaign run by the party remained organized and encouraging. The party spokesperson and Vice Chair Agni Prasad Sapkota claimed that the party's 4-month-long transformation campaign had been successful in making the party organization dynamic. The Maoist Centre leader claimed that the campaign also instilled new hope in the people. President Ramchandra Paudel has urged the authorities concerned for undertaking sufficient efforts for the development and promotion of sports in federal, provincial and local level. In his address to inaugural session of the third President Running Shield tournament organized by Kathmandu Metropolitan City yesterday, the head of the state said extracurricular activities including sports make the education system broader, opening avenues for self-confidence and positivity among students. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has confirmed the death of 3 more Nepalese serving in the Russian army. According to Ministry, 3 more Nepalese died in Russia-Ukraine war. Spokesperson of the Ministry, Amrit Bahadur Rai, shared that Hari Prasad Aryal of Syangja, Bharat Bahadur Shah of Kailali, and Rajkumar Giri of Thading have been confirmed dead. Earlier, death of 6 Nepalese working for Russian military force were confirmed. The urban population has significantly increased by around 5% in the last decade due to migration. A report on degree of urbanization in Nepal released by National Statistics Office in Kathmandu yesterday on the occasion of Statistics Day shows that the urban population has increased to 27.07% from 22.31% between 2011 and 2021. Similarly, the peri-urban population has increased from 39.19% to 39.75%. The report launched by Chief Secretary Dr. Vaikuntha Aryal mentioned that the rural population has decreased from 38.5% to 33.19% in the last 10 years. This news comes to you from Radio Nepal. Now on to some international news updates. Israel has insisted the assassination of a Hamas leader in Beirut was not an attack on Lebanon, as its enemies warned of punishment for his death. An Israeli spokesperson said Saleh al-Arawi had died in a surgical strike against the Hamas leadership. Hamas condemned the death while its ally Hezbollah said it was an assault on Lebanese sovereignty. Lebanon's prime minister, meanwhile, accused Israel of trying to drag Lebanon into confrontation. Lebanese media report that Arawi, a deputy political leader of Hamas, was killed in a drone strike in southern Beirut, along with 6 others, two Hamas military commanders and 4 other members. 57-year-old Arawi is the most senior Hamas figure to be killed since Israel went to war with the group after its October 7 attack. On that day, waves of Hamas gunmen invaded Israel and attacked communities around the border, killing about 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and taking around 240 to Gaza as hostages. According to Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry, since then, more than 22,000 Palestinians, mostly women and children, have been killed in Israeli airstrikes on Gaza. A Chinese foreign exchange student had been found freezing but alive in the United States after his parents were extorted out of tens of thousands of dollars in a cyber kidnapping scam. Police said in a statement that Kai Zhuang was discovered very cold and scared in a tent in rural Utah. The 17-year-old boy is believed to have isolated himself after being manipulated by the kidnappers. His parents were then tricked into paying around $80,000. Police added in their statement that Zhuang is one of number of foreign students targeted by so-called cyber kidnappers in the United States recently. Police believe Kai was being controlled by the kidnappers as early as 20th December when he was seen by officers in Provo, Utah, carrying camping equipment. According to the police, victims of cyber kidnapping are convinced to isolate themselves and even take pictures to make it appear they are being held captive, despite the kidnappers not being present. Instead, the victim is monitored through FaceTime or Skype. Both the victims and their families are then convinced the other will be harmed if they do not comply. Now the general weather forecast for the country. With the partial influence of westerly wind across the country, Meteorological Forecasting Division has forecast the weather to be partly cloudy in the hilly areas of Kosi, Bagmati and Gandaki province and mainly fair in the rest of the country today. There is a possibility of light snowfall at 1 or 2 places of the high hilly and mountainous region of Kosi, Bagmati and Gandaki province today. According to the latest information provided by the division, the minimum temperature of Kathmandu Valley is recorded as 5.2 degrees Celsius and the maximum temperature as 17.7 degrees Celsius. With this, we have almost come to the end of this news bulletin from Radio Nepal for this hour. But before wrapping it up, let's have a reminder of the headlines once more. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Bruchanda points out the need for transformation in educational policy, curriculum and structure to reform country's education sector. Former foreign ministers, secretaries and ambassadors advise government to take Nepal-India relations ahead based on understanding and mutual interest. And Hamas deputy leader Saleh al-Arauri killed in Beirut blast. This is all we have for this bulletin. Our next bulletin in English will be at 2 in the afternoon. You can listen to us online on our website at www.onlineradionepal.gov.np and our mobile app. For more news and information, keep listening to Radio Nepal. Have a good day.